Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Spratley. Good morning, everyone.
Now, today is a bit different again because we're starting to have a bubble back in the hall for assembly. So today, I'm joined by year 3 and 4 in the hall. Do you want to say hello, year 3 and 4? And through the camera here, I'm joined by reception year 1 and 2, who are either watching the assembly now or catching up later on. So through this technology and this actual big room, I get to speak to everyone in some way, shape or form. So I'm going to put up my slides on the screen so everyone who's watching in the classrooms can see what you can see up on the screen there. Who can tell me what they can see up on the screen? Let's see some nice hands up in the air. Not calling out. Layla, your hand's up nice and high. That's right, up on the screen there. We've got the Mathletics logo that you're all very familiar with. Who's already been on Mathletics today? Wow, lots of hands already up in the air. Who's been on Mathletics over the last 24 hours? So maybe this morning or yesterday afternoon, or quite a few hands up. Interestingly, less hands up than I said who's already had it today, but that's okay. Who's been on it in the last week? Wow, almost every single hand up, which is fantastic. And hopefully lots of hands up in year 1 and year 2 as well. That's right, we've got up on the screen, we've got the Mathletics logo. We've also got these words here that say World Maths Day 2021. When's that happening then? Who can tell me when that's happening? Emily, your hand went straight up first. It's right, tomorrow. Wednesday is tomorrow, that's right. Wednesday is World Maths Day. What does that mean for us here at the Prince of Wales School? Kalani, what does that mean here? Well, they've asked us, you're right, the people from Mathletics have asked us to help them with World Maths Day. And what sort of special things are we going to be doing at school tomorrow? Orson's got his hand up. Oh, that's right. Tomorrow we're having a special dress-up day because we don't really like dress-up normally at the Prince of Wales School, do we? Yeah, well, tomorrow we've set your challenge. In fact, Miss White, who is our maths coordinator, has set you the challenge to dress up with a maths theme. Now, a lot of these on the screen here are just kind of maths themed. You might be able to see someone's dressed up as a ruler in the bottom right-hand corner here. These are all homemade costumes. None of these have been bought online. They've all been made at home. Look, top right-hand corner here, somebody's come in as Hickory Dickory Dock. I think they come in as a clock. And the top here, we've got someone who's come dressed as a domino. Not Domino's Pizza, but domino as in... And then in the bottom right, the bottom middle here, we've got someone that's dressed as a calculator, someone that's dressed as a dice, and I think another calculator. And this person on the left here has just come with lots of shapes on them, which I think is a really great idea. Or maybe some maths on their shirt. Now, as well as dressing as a maths theme, you may choose instead to dress as someone who uses maths. Who can you think of that uses maths in their job, perhaps, or in their vocation or their passion? Oh, Isaac, your hand's really high. Oh, you could come dressed as Albert Einstein. I'd love to see some Einsteins tomorrow. Elliot. Oh, you could come dressed as a teacher, yes. Which teacher would you choose? Oh, you don't know. You've already got the glasses, just a little beard. And you could be me for the day, look. I'll use some maths. Jacob. You could come as Isaac Newton. What a great idea. Riley. Oh, an engineer. For those people that don't know what an engineer is, what do engineers do, Riley? Wow, they do, and they design things, don't they? Like bridges and buildings and all sorts of exciting things. And they engineer not just big things, Riley. You get people that engineer small things as well, like mobile phones and things like that as well. Benji. Oh, you could, yes, definitely. Layla. That's right. So maybe like a dress designer needs to make sure they know their measurements, to make sure they've got the fabric cut right. I like that idea. That's a great idea. Lucas? An architect. For those people that don't know who are listening, what is an architect? Yeah, someone who designs buildings, who draws buildings. Yeah, they need to be really good with their measurements, don't they? And also, what sort of things do you think they might need to be really good at, and particularly drawing? Yeah, and what about shape? 3D shapes in particular. He's get that depth right. Fantastic. As I see there's so many hands up, tell the person next to you what you were going to tell me. So, in this week of World Maths Day, let's see, one hand up in the air, other hand, arms folded. Thank you to everyone in the hall who's listening beautifully. In this week of World Maths Day, with World Maths Day tomorrow, I wanted to have a little think about maths and have a little think about something connected with maths that actually I don't think any of you have mentioned. And I'm going to start with a quick quiz for you. Okay, I'm going to put this full screen for those people that are watching through a different platform. I was going to try to see if it's not working. Never mind, let's go on. First of all, tell the person next to you what these two things are. Three, two, eyes on me, one, arms folded. Lots of ideas in the room there. Can you tell me which one of these is a computer? Ooh, let's see. Someone on the front row. Yes, Isla. You think the right one is? What type of computer is the one on the right? Oh, you're right. Well, do you know what, Isla? It's a bit of a trick question, if I'm honest. Because, in fact, up on the screen here, both of these things that you're looking at are computers. Now, Isla is right. The one on the right-hand side is probably more common to what we're used to seeing. It looks a bit like my laptop here, doesn't it? But actually, the one on the left is a very old type of computer, one of the first types of computers. And it was a machine that did calculations. Because that's what computers are. Computers are machines that perform lots and lots of complicated calculations. We're going to find out a little bit today about the first computer and who invented that first computer. Before we do that, when do you think the first computer was invented, Riley? Do you think it was 20 years ago, 50 years ago, or more than 150 years ago? Tell the person next to you, everyone. And everyone back on me. What do we think of the room? Put your hands up if you think it was... Oh, I've already put the answer up. That wasn't very good, was it? I clicked on. I was going to say put your hand up if you think it was 20 years ago, 50 years ago, but actually the answer is that it was more, thank you, Year 4, more than 150 years ago. Then my next question is, who invented the first computer? Do you think it was this woman on the left or this man on the right? Can you point left or right? Who do you think it was? Oh, some people have said both. I like how you got two hands up, some people. Other people are going left, other people are going right. Well, do you know what? It was this woman. And, thank you, Evie. The computer was invented by this woman, and her name was Ada Lovelace. Let's find out all about her. Ada was born in 1815. She was the daughter of two very clever parents. Her dad, Lord Byron, was a brilliant and famous poet. Her mum, Annabella Milbank, was a brilliant mathematician. Put your hand up if you're a brilliant mathematician. Lots of hands up in the room. Hopefully lots of hands up in the classroom as well. What a great thing to be described as, a brilliant mathematician. Unfortunately, Ada's parents split up when she was very young. But this didn't stop her from becoming a brilliant woman herself. Ada loved to learn and experiment. Which of these things do you think she was able to do? So when I put these up, I want a thumbs up or thumbs down if you think she did them, okay? Those people in the classroom that are listening as well, you need to put your thumbs up or thumbs down. So the first one, she learned how to speak French fluently. If you think she did that, thumbs up. It's just a guess. Thumbs down if you think not. Well, we've got a mix in the room here. Well, Ada did learn how to speak French fluently. The next one. Ada was often very ill and had to stay in bed, but she kept working. Do you think that was true? Or do you think that was false? It was true. She became ill, but she still worked even when she was ill in bed. She invented wings and was able to fly. Do you think that's true or false? Well, do you know what, Prince of Wales? It was false, but she did try to. Which I think's wonderful. Who wouldn't want to fly? I would love to be able to fly. Our next one was that Ada used maths to win lots of money gambling. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Well, do you know what? If people are talking, then we'll have to stop and then wait. That's much better, thank you. It's a bit like the flying one. She didn't win lots of money, but she did try using maths to win lots of money gambling. She could do complicated maths at a time when women weren't encouraged to do maths at all. Thumbs up or thumbs down? That one is true. She's a very clever lady. It was true. Ada was brilliant at maths. She was maths mad. She loved maths. She could see the beauty in it, and she loved talking about maths. Who loves talking about maths? Mr. Sprackton loves talking about maths. At the age of 17, she was introduced to a man called Charles Babbage, who also loved maths. Although they were different ages, Ada and Charles both loved maths and talked about it non-stop. Have you got a friend that shares your passion? It might not be about maths, it might be about art, or it might be about football, or it might be about technology. Have you got a friend that you can talk to about your passion? Let's see your hands. Oh, lots of hands being shared there. It's good. Thank you, year 3 and 4, hands down. It's good when we can find someone that shares our passion, and it can help push us on, can't it? Thank you, year 3. I'm trying to invent a machine that can calculate faster than the human brain, said Charles. We can do that using maths, said Ada. Ada learnt about what Charles had already invented, and then she set about making it even better. I can use what I know about maths to design a machine that will calculate numbers, work with symbols, and even play music. Other people in society weren't impressed with Ada's brilliant ideas. I'm going to need some helpers to read some of these comments out. And they're going to say them in a not very nice way. They're going to be horrible to Ada, so let's hear them. Isaac?
A woman shouldn't spend her time doing maths.
Orson?
She should be working with marriage. She just stay home with her husband.
Riley?
Women
should dance and sing and play music and look pretty. Well done, thank you. Well, those aren't very nice things, are they? What do you think Ada's husband thought about her breaking society's rules? Tell the person next to you, what do you think he thought? Do you think he had similar comments to these? Well, do you know what, Prince of Wales, Ada's husband, fortunately, he didn't care what other people thought. Is that a good characteristic to have? He didn't care what other people thought. My wife is so clever. I want to support her and help her to be her best. I don't listen to people who think women shouldn't work as mathematicians and scientists. And what was the last bit he said? Go, Ada. He was encouraging her to be the very best person she can be. Is that something you could do with maybe one of your friends or your family members? Could you encourage them to be the very best person they could be? Now, the truth is, Ada and Charles never saw their analytical engine, a computer, ever made. People didn't really listen to their ideas back then, and Ada died at just age 36, which is really young. But her notes were used over 100 years later to make the very first ever computer. So her work was used 100 years later to make the first ever computer. There's her notes there, look. All the maths that she did. All Ada's hard work had finally paid off. She is now seen as the very first ever computer programmer, 100 years before the computer even existed. We're going to watch a short film now about Ada. I'm going to play this when everyone's sat beautifully in the hall. And I want you to listen to the words that are being shared.
History, who's who. Welcome to History Who's Who. Who is Ada Lovelace? Ada Lovelace was an English mathematician and scientist and was born on the 10th of November 1815. Her full name is actually Augusta Ada King Noel, Countess of Lovelace. She is now thought to be one of the pioneers of early computers. As a young girl, she was fascinated with maths and science, and at 17 years old, she met a man called Charles Babbage, who had designed a cogwheel calculating machine. Ada was amazed by the model that he had made, and they soon became good friends. In 1834, Charles Babbage began work on another, more elaborate computer called the Analytical Engine, and it had been thought that Ada only had a small part to play in the design. However, modern research has now suggested that Ada played a huge part in designing and writing the programs for the machine. But neither Ada or Charles Babbage ever saw it working in their lifetime. Ada died aged 36 on November the 27th, 1852. The full-size working machine from the designs of Ada and Charles were not made until 2002 by a team of scientists at the London Science Museum. Ada is now regarded as the first ever computer programmer, and that's Ada Lovelace.
So, what can we learn from Ada? Was she right to work en masse when it wasn't something women were supposed to do? What do you think? Do you think she was right to do that, Prince of Wales?
Yeah.
Not seeming very sure. Is she right to do that?
Yeah.
And was Ada right to keep going even when people didn't really listen to her ideas?
Yeah.
Is maths just for boys and men?
No.
You don't seem very sure.
No.
Are there other women who are brilliant at maths? So one of your challenges is to find some more people that are brilliant at maths, men and women, ready for World Maths Day tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing who you come in as tomorrow. Perhaps some of you might want to come in as Ada. Or you may think of some other brilliant mathematicians. My final question for you, and I don't want you to answer this one hands down. This is a question to go away and think about, and will be the final part of this assembly today. My question to you is, what are you good at? Would you keep going if people said you should stop? That's our final thought for today. Thank you for everyone who's listened in the Assembly Hall, and thank you to everyone who's listening online. I'm going to look to see who sat beautifully, and I will pick which class is going to leave the hall first. So welcome to the Prince of Wales School here in Dorchester, a school where we are all inspired to learn. We believe that we're working with a golden generation, and we're not coming back here, we're moving forward together.
20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
0 out. 9 a.m.
Tower clear.
Here we got a roll program.
And I'm gonna be high as a kite flies.
Altitude's 2 miles.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me round again to find another man that think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no.
95 feet per second.
I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. Burning out the field of And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.